All right, so today we are here with my mentor and the telekinesis legend himself, Antonio Telekinesis. Give me 1 second, Anthony. So as I'm getting set up, I just want to let you guys know we are on a huge time crunch. Anthony had a long day, and we're only going to do this for 10 minutes, so I'm not going to do any intros. I'm going to get straight into the point and ask him some questions, mostly regarding aerokinesis that I want to know about, and yeah, we're just going to ask him some valuable questions that I think, we're going to try to solve this aerokinesis mystery, if you will. So, all right. So, oh, and just, if you want to know who Anthony is, send him a friend request or join the Jedi group. I'll post it in the link below. So let's just get straight into it. Anthony, so, you know, I have a few questions for you regarding aerokinesis in the next 10 minutes. First of all, when you first learned about airbending and aerokinesis, what was your reaction like? I mean, did it make you feel like how like for me personally, it made me feel like, man, like how does everybody in the world not know about this? Something so dead simple. Like how does scientists not know about this at all? Did you feel the same way at all, Anthony?
Um, I I when I grew up, as a kid, I always sensed energy. Like I used telekinesis as a child. I used it in my early 20s. I didn't really discover it. I always knew I could kind of do things. And when I would be frustrated or, I spent a lot of time on the streets growing up, I'd walk to the woods and I'd sit under a tree and I'd just be myself and the wind would always come and things would always seem like they were moving, kind of enjoying my company. Um, After I began to train at 33 years old, I started understanding that the things that were happening when I was a kid weren't me imagining them, they were actually true. Like I had a connection back then to nature because I spent a lot of time with it, and it was kind of like my friend. When you're homeless, a tree can be a wonderful savior, especially if want to get out of the heat or somewhere to sleep safe. You can climb up and chill out in the tree. And I spent a lot of time
Right.
everywhere. So aerokinesis, like when I discovered I could actually move things using intentions outside, it wasn't a big shock to me because I always felt like I had some type of connection there, anyways.
Mhm.
But when I started to be able to move pinwheels with precision, then I started understanding that I wasn't just moving the wind, I was actually creating specific energy current that was listening to me. It was part of my energy field, and it it kind of didn't blow me out of the water because the way life is, man, it's life is here to not the way it should be. The world has
Right.
changed ever since the very beginning. When money became important, that's when everything kind of just fell apart. Um, the world is a place to get closer to whatever made it. Let's say there was only 1,000 people on the planet at one point in time, and there was no such thing as money, and there was no such thing as sports, or there was no problems and no stress. I think telekinesis would have been, the magical time once upon a time. I really believe the world is a very magical place. And there had to have been some type of really bad, evil people, dude. Just their evil lives here, good lives here. I mean,
Right.
there are
Right.
both sides of the fence living on Earth with us. So
Right.
the way I
Right.
feel is nature's looking for us. It really is just waiting for us more and more to wake up because it wants to interact and it wants to be a part of us. I mean, it isn't just here to cut down trees and regrow them to build houses. Trees actually are amazing and they create wind, they create their own energy. I believe they take care of everything around
Right.
them. Trees
That's amazing.
communicate. Trees
That's
send
really amazing.
energy from one side to the other. So
Right. So,
um,
we're, we only have a short amount of time. So I want to ask you. You mentioned that trees can create wind and stuff like that. I want to ask you a specific question. So you're obviously a phenomenal airbender, one of the best in this community. Anthony, when you want to make outside, when you go outside and want to make your environment windier and stuff like that, what would be your advice be? I mean, Mr. Michael Grubb uses the Z sound. I use that as well to make my environment windier and stuff like that. Excuse me. You also mentioned that uh, the trees can make your environment windier and stuff. Can you explain that concept a little more in detail?
what I would say is my training is a little different where I take Ormus because Ormus raises your aura, which increases your a connection outside. Michael Grubb, he's figured out that his energy field stretches like 20 to 30 feet away from him. So it's a really big bubble that we all can grow ourselves. This means that he's like a wireless energy field. His energy goes out and it's instantly connected to everything around him because trees are electrical, bushes are electrical. They all produce energy. So he's learned to connect to the woods, to the bushes, just like me. But he's been doing this for like 30 years. So
Right.
me, I think the Ormus has really allowed more of the instant connection where I don't have to try. I think my aura is just bright enough to nature sees it. Like the birds and the creatures, the cats and dogs, they all seem to notice me a lot differently than they used to like 2 or 3 years back. They can see me now and they flock
Right.
toward me. The birds actually gather in the trees. I get like 6 or 7 birds all just fly into a tree when I'm playing with it. So they feel warm and comforted by the energy. So I think that's Michael Grubb. He's extremely knowledgeable, but I think we're all in the same line. As long as we train a lot and we understand our own magnetics, we can connect to anything that's alive because it's already looking to connect to you. You just got to tone in. You have to keep training with the same object over and over. If it takes a week to get used to a tree, it takes a week. Some bushes, they instantly connect to you and then you're on. Like anytime you walk by them, they start moving. You just have to build
Right.
the bond, like magnetically, just keep doing it.
Right, right. That's amazing. That was a wonderful answer for. So thank you for that. There's one more question that I really want to ask you, Anthony. So, excuse me. So, um, obviously, you mentioned earlier that you play with pinwheels and such. Let's just say, and this is a hypothetical question, Anthony. Let's just say, Anthony, you eventually get to the point where you can move the pinwheel not outside but inside, where there's absolutely no fan, no wind, no energy going on. If you can move if you're able to do that, at a rapid pace, you can move the pinwheels, not the side where the pinwheels really fast and stuff like that. At that point of development of your energy skills, of your telekinesis skills, if you were to go outside at that point and you put your pinwheel outside, if you will, do you think at that point, let's just say it's extremely dead calm, do you think at that point you can make your environment extremely windy at will? If you, is my question making sense, Anthony? Or should I repeat myself to make more sense? Or
Honestly, I can make
what is your
I don't
take on
even
that?
need a pinwheel to make I don't have to use anything to make the environment windy. I have videos where I make clouds. I now create clouds rather than make them disappear. So I look up higher because there's always energy above the trees, even though it's not
Oh,
low, it's not to the ground. There's always moving energy above. So you just if you can make a cloud or erase a cloud, then you can easily just pull that energy moving above down below. I mean, the clouds are always moving in the sky, so there's always energy moving up there. So
interesting.
I use above to play below. Even if it's not windy, it's dead
Oh,
calm.
okay.
I'll play with the treetops, and the trees will make the wind come down, and then the wind will come down to my level. So
Interesting. That's a concept I've never heard before. So, Anthony, if you're it's funny enough, I was going to ask you that question, but we're running out of time. So, let me just ask you one more
it's
question,
okay.
Anthony.
Just I'm not worried. Just you can go another 5 minutes or so.
Okay. So, say, Anthony, you mentioned atmokinesis. I personally noticed that the environment um, gets windier when I do atmokinesis, when I try to connect to the clouds, dissolve the clouds and stuff like that. Do you think, if you, like I said, you're living in a dead calm area? I used to live in Seattle. Hardly anyone, I could hardly do any aerokinesis at all and stuff like that. And it rains a lot there. When you do atmokinesis and you say you get really good at atmokinesis, you master atmokinesis, do you think that can lead to you becoming a phenomenal aerokinetic, if you will? What is your take on
What, honest to God, what I did something really strange, and even I've spoke with Michael Grubb on Facebook myself. I've shared a
that?
few videos with him,
Mhm.
and the first thing he said to me is, he goes, "You're really into this telekinesis thing, huh?" Because I showed him a video where I manipulated 12 pinwheels, and
Mhm.
I literally bounced around, and I did them all separately, and he doesn't do that. He's more of a triple wheel or a single wheel or something that's not like I do. I build my devices. I had 16 pinwheels out there one time, and I could play with them all. I think what makes you
Wow.
the best at aerokinesis is understanding your magnetics first, and that's by playing with a whole bunch of pinwheels at once. You have to know where your energy's going. Is it going left? Is it going right? Is it going up, down? And with all these pinwheels, if you stick them all together and you make a 5 foot high, pinwheel device, you stand there and you look at it and you see which ones turn. You see where your energy's
Mhm.
going, and then you learn to tune it to where you want it to go. That's what I did. I played with 16 pinwheels within my first year of training telekinesis, and I was able to
Wow.
play with them all. So that allowed me to play with every tree in the neighborhood or play with the sky, because I knew I could manipulate 16 things at once. I mean, what more could you
That's
want? I could
amazing.
do 20, I could do 25. So I just know, as I visualize it, it happens. I can move 5 at once, and I can stop 5. If I had 10 out there, I could keep 5 going and I could stop 5. So it's more
Right.
just, you have to train with lots of objects in order to tune your magnetics.
Right.
You
That's
have to tune
amazing.
yourself.
Right, right. Speaking of magnetics, Anthony, do you think that you can, we talk, you're a huge advocate of, when you do a telekinesis sidewheel training, you're a huge advocate of bonding with the foil, if you will. Do you think it's possible to bond with wind itself? Like, do you think that's possible?
Absolutely. All wind is kinetic energy. If it comes,
Hmm.
say, from the trees, if a bunch of trees, who knows if there's people out there who are masters of creating tornadoes, who are masters of making hurricanes. Let's
Right.
say 30 years down the road, I can make little tornadoes now, and I'm only 3 years in. So let's say 30 years down the road, I can make a twister myself. Who's to say all
Right.
these things that are happening are created by people that are really bad in this world, kind of like Mortal
I
Kombat?
I was
You don't
gonna
really
ask you
know.
that question, Anthony. You answered my question. That was gonna be my last question. Wow, how synchronistic, Anthony. Do you believe in the scientific explanation of how wind is formed? Because I am skeptical. Okay, we're running out of time. I just want to read this one thing. So, according to science, and I'm pulling up Google right here. It says how wind is created. During the day, air above the land heats up faster than air over water. While warm air over land expands and rises, and heavier, cooler air rushes in to take its place. That's apparently how wind is created. I I'm not sure if that's scientific. Maybe there's some truth to that, but I'm skeptical after learning about aerokinesis. Maybe humans are creating. Maybe all these tornadoes are, you know, these extremely high level energy masters. Maybe they're, you know, maybe they're not even intentionally creating these things. Maybe they're
If
just
you
creating it and they don't even know they're creating it. Or maybe there's some people that are intentionally creating this stuff to cause destruction in the
let's
environment and
say
stuff like that. What is your take on that?
let's say that's absolutely where I think is this world is run by souls and energy. It very well could be, who's to say I couldn't go up in a plane and sit there and play with the clouds above the clouds? What would happen then if I was to go up there and start spinning above the clouds?
Right.
Would it actually make a
That's
tornado
scary to
or
think
start a
about.
hurricane? You don't know what would happen, and we don't know what's really running this world. Magicians,
Right.
magic. There's a lot of strange things, much deeper than we can even go. Because I can touch deer through the TV. I have videos on my channel, Journal of a
Right. Right.
Jedi. There's videos of me touching animals and doing things through the television screens and webcams. So who's to say
Right.
masters that run this world aren't collecting souls, aren't running this world and casting
Right.
spells?
Right.
Who really knows
Right.
what's going on? I
Yeah.
don't
Who
think
knows?
weather's
Yeah.
natural at all. I feel like weather is very much controlled and created by something, because it comes in pattern. It's such a pattern. Every year there's hurricanes. Every year there's tornadoes. What really? I don't even believe in a round Earth. I hate to say it, but I think
Right. Right.
whatever made all this, we're in an energy world, and there's no purpose for an actual round Earth spinning with the
Right.
sun. There's no purpose in that, but there is a purpose in the theory of it existing, because that allows you to wake up or not wake up. If you can't look beyond, like, we're talking crazy right now to some people, but if you can't look beyond just regular life, you're always going to think the world is going around and around. If you look from our point of view, you're almost thinking, if it's energy and this is a simulation, what's the purpose of, besides just believing it might go round and round? There's no real purpose in needing it to go round and round. It's just a
Right.
belief. Like, God created or did he not create? One or the other. And then you have to wake up some point. And theories are what makes you wake up, man. You got to question, you got to look, and you got to discover. So
Right. Right. Certainly.
I'm
Well,
a, I'm big on
well, thank you
discovery.
so. Right, right. Well, thank you so much. Despite you having such a limited amount of time to do this interview for me, I always love talking to you, and you're a phenomenal practitioner and stuff like that. So those that don't know Anthony, Antonio Telekinesis, I'll link the Journal of a Jedi YouTube channel, as well as the what is it called now? Learn telekinesis in 25 minutes. Now it used to be something I can't remember, but when I was an admin back
It's
in the day,
the
but
my training group is the journal. Well, my YouTube's the Journal of a Jedi, and my
right.
Facebook is uh, the Jedi Way. Learn telekinesis within 25 minutes.
Right. Yeah, that's really awesome. So definitely check that out. Anthony's an amazing guy, and I believe it's the best Facebook. I mean, there's a lot of phenomenal Facebook groups out there, but I personally believe it's by far the
And
best and the most. No
I
troll,
really
no
do.
gossip.
I believe my variety of videos is what makes it, real
Right.
unique, because I have 800 videos on my channel, and I'm not doing the same thing in any of them. They're all different ideas, different approaches. I
Right.
try to expand other people's, view of this reality. It's going to help them wake up. If they see me make a video every day for a year, automatically they're going to be like, well, he can't be faking. This has got to be, it's dedication can help wake people too. So that's what I try to
Right.
do. Stay dedicated.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. And I'll when we're done with this live stream, I'll put the links in the comments. So thank you so much, guys, and yeah, thank you so much. Despite the
You're welcome.
limited time you had to do this interview for me, so we'll do the pinwheel thing another time, definitely for sure. So
I would like to do a demo and show you. I could do, specifically 1, 2, 3 wheels, 4, 5 over camera. So until
awesome,
next time,
awesome.
later, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See you, Anthony. Thanks, guys.